Hi, I'm Simon from simonsweather.org. We're going to take a look today at the winter review of 2018-2019. This winter of 2018-2019 was almost in historic proportions as we remember how cold it was for February and even the beginning of March. But first, before we go and take a look at that here, I'd like to take a moment here to thank a few local businesses for their sponsorship and support of the production of this video. We have Farm to Market Store, located 9 miles south of Libby, Montana, specializing in discount groceries along with homemade, fresh-baked goods and pastries. And right in the same parking lot there across from the store is Meadowlark Log Homes, specializing in the construction of beautiful log homes. Inside of Meadowlark Log Homes, you'll also find Amish Meadows, another local business that specializes in produce. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Big Sky Media, a business located right in the center of Libby, specializing in video production and advertising. Thank you to you guys for supporting the making of this video. Take a look at this chart here behind me. This is a picture of the United States as a whole, the mean temperature for the winter months of December, January, and February. And as you can see in our part of the country here, we were in the blue shading, and the blue shading shows us as below average. The color codes are located on the behind me here on the chart here of the screen. Blue and green shades are below average temperatures, white is around average, and the warmer colors are above average temperatures. Our temperatures were around a degree as a whole below average, and that is for the entire months of December through February, which are the meteorological winter months. As we take a look at this next picture here, this is a series of slides that shows the snow cover that happened across the region, across North America and the United States from November 1st through March 1st here. And as we take a look at this at the beginning of November here, you can see there really isn't much snow for our part of the country. The mountainous areas do have snow, which we would expect at that time of year. And as this chart goes forward, you can see really there's not a whole lot happening anywhere really in the United States. Yes, there is some gradual snow cover increases as we would expect over the mountainous terrain. And that trend continues on through January. The big change begins to occur when we started getting really cold. And we all remember our snowstorm in Lincoln and Sanders County around February 12th, where Libby picked up in a 24-hour period a little over 19 inches, and some other areas picked up even more than that, with the Yak picking up close to 36 inches of snow in a 24-hour period. And look at this chart here behind me. You can see the snow cover dramatically increases, not just for our neck of the woods, but clear to the coastal areas of Washington and Oregon, and spreading south even into California as well. Pretty dramatic increase. So the snow cover is directly related there to the next series of charts that we're going to look at, which are the anomalies, which is deviations from the normal or the mean over the whole the whole United States and Canada for the winter of 2018-2019. As we take a look here first at December's anomalies here, you can see our region is in kind of a light blue area, light blue range, which indicates the standard deviation of around -1. So as a whole, we were looking at lower than average heights in the month of December for our part of the country. The result of that means that temperatures were a little bit below average for the month of December as a whole across our region. As we jump ahead to January now, you can see quite the flip for our part of the country. We go from the shades of blue to shades of light yellow, which is the exact opposite of above average now heights in the atmosphere. And so our anomalies here are in the positive. And if you remember, January was quite a bit warmer than normal. It was very mild. People were beginning to wonder, are we even going to have a winter this year? And even myself included. And I remember back when I gave the winter outlook originally at the beginning of the year, I had said that I thought we would start out cold and snowy and end up mild and dry. Well, we didn't start out cold and snowy at all, but as we're going into January, I thought, well, this is about what we expected. That all ended, though, as we go into February. And this chart behind me here is pretty dramatic. look at our region here in the purples there, which is around 3 to 4 standard deviations below average. In the weather area arena, that is significant. Anything when you start getting below 3 standard deviations below average, that is a major deviation of below, or even if it was on the flip side, above average, which you can see behind me here, the eastern United States was quite a bit above average. But why this big bullseye here over the western US? Why did we have such low heights in the atmosphere? So the next series of charts here that we look at are the actual heights in the atmosphere, which is a good indication of the higher the heights, the warmer the temperatures at the surface and aloft. The lower the heights, the lower the temperatures aloft and at the surface there too. So when we take a look here at December, we're really not anything above average or below average here. We're kind of maybe slightly above average with the shades of light blue, which indicate there, you can see on the chart there to the right behind me what those numbers are. A 544, 543 average height is not that terribly low for us this far north in this part of the country. And as you can see, as a whole, on average, December wasn't that unusual. We go ahead now, the next frame, and we look at is January. And now we're kind of almost into the greens there, which is indicating heights of around 558, 559, 555. Those are pretty high. In the summer months, that would be low. But in the winter months, that's actually pretty high for our region. And you can sort of see this bit of a bump here, this curve in the heights for our region. And that indicates upper level high pressure, which is what we had for most of the month of January. Consequently, we had a dry month and a mild month with not really any cold outbreaks at all in January. But now, as we look at the next chart here for February, what a difference you can see here. The big purple area kind of behind me here is around Hudson Bay in Canada, where we expect low heights in the atmosphere. And consequently, you can see that there. But what's interesting is here, if you look at this, it almost backbuilds, and it does backbuild into the northwestern US and actually over the whole western United States as a whole. What we call the Hudson Bay Low actually retrograded with a big chunk of it focused right over Alberta and British Columbia and northwest Montana, broke off and drove a tremendous amount of cold air that kept reloading over Hudson Bay, but breaking off and moving south and west, which is what brought us our incredibly cold temperatures for the month of February. Combine that with, and you can see here on this chart, there's some overwater trajectory, which allowed moisture to come in, mix the moisture with the very cold air, voila, you got bang, heavy snows. And so for the month of February, we had quite a lot of snowfall. In fact, for the month of February, Libby ended up with 49.9 inches of snow, which is just shy of an average season of snowfall for us. So far, as of today, which is March 19th, in Libby, we have picked up a total of 84.2 inches of snow, but only 7.01 inches of water equivalent. So even though we're looking outside and we think we have all this snow, our actual snowpack is below average because there's very little water in the snow due to the fact that the snow that fell was of the light, dry, fluffy variety. So what happened in summary over this winter was we started the winter off with general zonal flow in December, which morphed into an upper level ridge for the month of January, which brought us our continued below average precipitation and above average temperatures. But the big deal was in February when we went below average, having that big chunk of the Hudson Bay Low retrograde westward and bring us the cold air and the snowfall combined with the Pacific jet stream coming in really was what sent our overall winter into a colder than average winter for the months of December, January, and February. What can we expect going ahead here into spring? Well, you'll have to tune back in for another video on the spring outlook, which we will have here shortly on Simon's Weather. Hopefully you'll check back and check that out. For more information on local weather for Lincoln and Sanders County and all of Northwest Montana, you can visit simonsweather.org. There is also an app available for both Apple and Android, and you can download that and have the weather available right at your fingertips there. And for more information on advertising on the simonsweather.org website, please contact Big Sky Media. Their website, again, is at the bottom of the screen here. They will be happy to answer any questions you may have on advertising for the website or for your own business as well. Thank you so much, and have a good day.